Hi and welcome. Today we're going to be making this adorable Easter basket. The pattern can be found in my Etsy shop at Sprinkles of Love, and I'll provide a link in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get started. For this project, you're going to need 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. I used lemon and taffy from American Crafts. The pattern paper is included with your purchase, and I had that printed at the office supply store. You're also going to need a bone folder, 2 brads, some adhesive. Optionally, you're going to need inks for blending and ink blending tools. To begin the project, I inked the edges using Distress Ink by Tim Holtz. For the yellow cardstock, I used mustard seed and my life-changing blending brushes. For this technique, I started off the edge of the cardstock and moved on. This gave it a nice bit of color on the outside and added some visual interest without adding any blotches of color. I used the same technique on the handle, but inked both the inside and the outside since the inside is visible. For the pink pieces, I used Distress Ink and Picked Raspberry, again by Tim Holtz, and I used the same technique of starting off the edge and moving on to the cardstock. For the bow tails, I inked just the tips, and on the knots, I gave it a little kiss of color just in the middle. Moving on, we're going to adhere the panel covers to the base of the basket. The trick here is to line up the holes on the panel covers to the holes on the base of the basket. Take your time, make sure everything is lined up and straight, and you'll end up with a great project. Now, I like to use liquid adhesive for this as opposed to an automatic tape gun or glue dots. I just find that liquid adhesive gives me a little bit of time to reposition things as necessary. And specifically, I like to use Scotch brand tacky glue and a precision tip applicator. If I don't get enough glue in, which you'll notice in a couple spots, I just lift up the corner and stick the little tip in there and place another little kind of dot of glue right there. And everything sticks down nicely and it looks great. To put the cover panel on long pieces, like the handle, I do it in steps. I just put down a little bit of glue in one spot and then just move along until I've got the whole thing covered and tacked down. The next step of the project is to fold along the score lines. I use solid score lines, so I fold everything inside out first, and then I turn it right side out and smooth everything out with my bone folder. Now, despite the fact that it looks like my basket is partially assembled, that's not the next step of the project. The next step should be to train your handle. You want to get a slight curl in it by grabbing a dowel, a magic marker, or anything that you have handy that's round and pulling one side of your handle along that round object, just like you do with curling ribbon. Then you're going to grab a brad and start assembling your basket by putting your brad through the outermost tabs, the middle tabs, the innermost tabs, and then through the center, front, or back. And then you're going to feed your handle through the brad and close the brad. You'll do that for both sides, and your basket will finally look like a basket. So remember that curling technique that you did on the handle before you started assembling your basket? You're going to repeat that for the bow loops and the bow tails. Just grab something round, pull it along, and get some good curves in there to train your paper so that you can make nice, pretty bows. To assemble the bows, you're going to wrap the ends of the bows into the center, glue them down, and then you're going to take the knots and wrap them around the center. There are no score lines in the knots because all cardstock is different. Everyone folds a little bit differently. Everyone likes a little bit of a different look. So just have a go at it and make it look as neat as possible. You're then going to glue the tails of the bows to the bow itself and then glue the bow to the basket. You're going to repeat this for both sides, and then voila, you have a beautiful little Easter basket. I hope you have fun with this project. Thanks for watching. Bye.